Yo, food service power plant community, welcome. It's Monday night here in Colorado. It's beautiful. The sun is shining. The sky is blue. There's some clouds for that welcome relief of shade that we need here occasionally in Colorado. Gosh, I hope you are well wherever you are coming to us from. Tonight, we've got an unbelievable guest on. Davin Wickstrom of Vivreau is joining us. Davin is someone I've run into at various associations, SHFM being the predominant one that I believe he's on the SHFM Foundation board. He can clarify that for us. And he's such a key member there. And then at various different association industry events, he's a person that seems to be everywhere. And he seems to be everywhere, both as an ambassador for Vivreau, but also just kind of an ambassador for people, I think I would say, and as a connector and as someone who sort of everywhere he goes universally, he gets to care. And that's the feedback I get from a lot of people. I can't wait to interview him. Listen, welcome. We haven't done some of these for a little bit just because I've been on the road. The last one we did was Fred Singer, actually. And Fred was unbelievable. If you haven't heard Fred Singer's conversation that we did about a month ago, go check out fspowerplant.com. Go find the conversation. It might say podcast. Fred was an unbelievable guest. And I've got our team who's going to watch it because it was just so good. Look who's in the house. Rigney's in the house. Yo, Riggs. Great to see you, brother. I'm glad you're here. Can't wait to hear this. Love it. He's amazing. I agree with you. Listen, before we get going and bring Davin on. Oh, look at this. Hi, guys. Someone from Facebook. I'm going to actually log into Facebook right now. By the way, you might be watching this from LinkedIn. If you're watching on LinkedIn, welcome. If you're watching this from Facebook and the Food Service Power Plant Network, welcome. I am going to get in just right now and go find the group. If you are in the group commenting or on Facebook, you can go to StreamYard/Facebook and you can put in your name. And that way we can kind of see you commenting. Otherwise, I'm going to do my best to find you right here on my phone. It's Dave Maxwell. Hi, Dave. What's up? This is Bolt. Hi, Jason. It's Bolt. There you go. I could have figured that one out. Looking forward to tonight, Bolt. We're so glad you're here. Look at this. Carolyn's in the house. Hi, Carolyn. Hey, Davin. Met him in Spokane last summer and now everywhere. Too fun. A couple thoughts. Number one, I have a pen and I have a paper because I'm making notes. Always the guest has insights that are meaningful to my story that I need to incorporate, that I need to think on, and that might be true for you. These conversations don't happen without incredible people, supporting partners, sponsors who help make this happen. Our two supporting partners, FENS Magazine, Joe, Maureen, Dave, Nick, Sam, everybody over there, just unbelievable team of people educating us always on what's going on in the industry. And they help make this happen. So thank you for believing in these conversations, and the team at Crave, Chelsea, and so many of the entire team over there, Eric and everybody. It's just, Carolyn, wonderful team. Thank you for helping make these happen. For believing in this message. If you have a desire to support these positive messages, these honest conversations, kind of a different kind of conversation in the industry, and you want to see these continue and grow in their reach, feel free to reach out. We're always welcoming more partners to collaborate and dream with us. Look at this. Well, hello there, everyone. Good to see you. I love it. Praise and high fives, hands in the air. Whoop, whoop, raise the roof. Listen, let's go find the man. Welcome, David, yo, buddy.
Woo! Jason, what's up, dude? What's cracking? How are you, man?
Hey, brother, I'm pretty good tonight. Getting to hang with you puts me in a pretty great place for the next 45 or so minutes.
Feel the same. I'm excited to chat tonight.
I love it. Tell me about the day. How was Monday? How'd Monday start?
Oh, God, Monday was great. I got to walk my son to school, which is always fun. He's in 5th grade, so he's now to the age he's like, Dad, you need to walk about 45 steps behind me, which is like totally breaking my heart, but I know I need to let the bird get out of the nest. So, such is life. But I'm going to keep an eye on him. I know that much.
There you go. I remember the first time I took my daughter to school. It was middle school, and I had to let her out, and I had to go in to sign her in. She goes, Dad, could you just walk like 30 feet behind me? And I was like, oh, wait, really? That's a thing? That kind of makes me sad. That's okay. Hi, Jakai. Good to see you. Don is here from Ignite Northwest. Yo, who is this? You've got Deirdre Flynn is on. Bolt, Christine Guillot, Rick Palmer's in the house. Zena Dater. This is Christine. Hi, Christine. Great to see you. Look at this. So fun. Happy Monday, everyone. Happy Monday, Lisa. David, listen,
Yep.
you've got a really fun story. Beautiful, challenging, lots of it like life, like we call being a human being.
Yeah.
And you've got a really cool role that you get to have in the industry as well. Before we get to some of that and some of your
Yep.
story, can you fill us in a little bit on your career journey and now as the director of industry relations at Vivreau, kind of what that's like? So just fill us in on what
Yeah.
you got.
You bet. I love big questions out of the gate, Jason. You succeeded. A big question. So here we go. Graduated Western Illinois with a social work degree.
No
Um,
way.
yep. Mother's a psychotherapist, and we'll talk about mom a little bit later. So after college, actually worked with the geriatric population. I was an intake social worker at a nursing home. Um, Worked child protective services, and I worked the chronically mentally ill right out of college. About 5-6 years, I did that.
Wow.
Yeah, and did child protective services in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Working there, as you can imagine, got a little burned out. And I had a friend that said, "Hey, do you want to deliver coffee for $25,000 more?" And I'm like, yes, I do. So I did that, went and became a coffee roaster, coffee delivery guy, a small roaster out in Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Wow.
Yeah. There's a story about Santa Fe too. My friends know that one. That's a big one. It just relates to Jack Kerouac, etc. Anyway, um, during Santa Fe, I started with a company called Standard Coffee, so fell into the coffee world, which then became DS Services, which I think is Primo Water now. Like there's a lot of iterations. Did that 15, 16 years. From that, went to Mars Drinks, which is now Lavazza. And that was my first real taste of culture in a company. Mars Drinks and Lavazza has an amazing culture experience with them, and then came into to Vivreau, and I just celebrated my 5th year with them.
Congrats.
Yeah, man.
Gosh,
Yeah,
what an awesome background and story. I mean, just even you telling some of that, I understand now a little bit more why you are the way you are and how you connect and relate to people as is honestly such a safe person.
yeah. Well, I'll just tell the story about my dad. I'm getting ahead of myself, but I read On the Road in College by Jack Kerouac. I had just graduated college, went to my father and said, "Dad, I'm moving to Santa Fe, New Mexico. I don't have a job. Can I borrow some money?" And I took off. 2 weeks later, I was in Santa Fe, living and
Wow.
working. Um, but something was pulling me there. And I think the romance of On the Road and the idea of traveling the world just absolutely appealed to me. So off I went.
Wow, man. Um, what what was it that was appealing? Like what drew you there?
It I've always had this pretension to jump into the deep end. Like Santa Fe, I knew no one. I had no safety net. Home where I grew up was great. Everybody knew me. They knew my business too, and I wanted to go someplace that I didn't know anybody, that maybe wasn't comfortable, that I would have to learn like on the fly, on the run, instead of just resting on my laurels.
Yeah.
So I just went, and it was such an incredible time. I spent 7 years in Santa Fe total. It was magnificent
Mm.
time there. Yeah, it was amazing.
Beautiful. Okay, and now that leads you to here. By the way, I love how many people somehow fall in. I don't mean black hole in a dark, but like right, they're kind of doing their life and they fall into a black hole and they end up in food service, and it
Right,
kind of sucks them into this other dimension. And here
right.
we all find ourselves. I'm a former history teacher for crying out
Of
loud.
course
You're
you
a
are.
social worker. So many of these things. I love how it brought you here. Today, you are the director of industry relations for Vivreau. First, what is that? Tell
Yeah,
us
great.
what that role is.
That's a great question. So, during my time with Vivreau, started in doing business development, working with the marketing team, working with the operations. So I have not just a working knowledge of our company. I know our ethos. I know our mission. I know people in my company, and really work closely with them. So I know our story. So
Yeah.
as industry relations, it's about cultivating relationships, um, whatever the segment is, healthcare, senior dining, BNI, et cetera. And it's finding either pain points or good points in people's, I guess, companies, and aligning with them. So if I'm working with a client and they're saying, "Hey, we're having a problem here," I'm going into solving, not necessarily solving, but partnering with them and getting solutions for them. So industry relations is, I'm a brand ambassador for Vivreau, but I'm also really an ambassador for food service as a whole because I
Yeah.
care about food service. Food service is important. And when food service does well, ultimately my company is going to do well. Other companies are going to do well as well. Saying well a lot.
Um, I love the thought behind it all and the goals and the vision. I think I said at the beginning, you're like, you're a brand ambassador for Vivro, but also just for humanity.
Yep.
Walking in, everywhere, you have a unique gift for, we talk about IQ and EQ, and I'm sure you got a great IQ. But what I notice about you is your EQ, your ability to connect and relate with people, to create trust in a really short period of time, and to become a safe person. Everyone's looking for people that they feel, that they long to feel like they can be authentic with,
Yep.
and feel like, in me being me, I'm not going to feel small. No one's, this person's not going to cause me or treat me in a way to feel small or unwanted or unseen. And maybe it was your social work background, but was there a place in time that you really learned to relate to people and develop that EQ?
That's a great question, Jason. I was born with it. It came to me early at a young age,
Hmm.
where some people may be mathematician or architect, etc. This way of being and seeing the world was that was at birth. It helped having a psychotherapist mother, where
Hmm.
the 10,000 hours of working on a craft. It's just been working on that, and through my life, there's so much richness when you allow people space and place to be who they are. Um, that's absolutely incredible when you're able to do that. So I work on it every day. It's an everyday discipline that I have. One thing I will say is, starting the day before I even get out of bed, I'm giving great gratitude for what I have, even if I'm having a crappy day. I'm grateful for that crappy day, because that crappy day is either telling me something that I'm off, that I need to work on, um, or I maybe need to shift gears on what I'm doing. So, um,
Wow, man. The Molly, the dog, is having a field day over here.
I
Um,
have to. I get it.
there we go. We've got neighbors walking by. The gratitude piece.
Yep.
It's Is that something you learned along the way? There's this whole idea that I've studied over time that if we wait to be grateful until things are great, then we're never really going to learn gratitude. Like you're grateful now, or it's not something that happens when things are going right. The practice of gratitude happens right now, wherever you're at. Has that been your experience?
Yeah, yeah. I'm laughing because people are like, they pray when things are going really south, but when things are going really good, it's like, no, no, I got this. No, gratitude, that discipline of gratitude, good or bad, like that just sets you up. That sets you at a higher level as you're approaching the day, approaching people, because right away you're going, I'm enough. It's okay. I can go about my day, and I can be the person I am, and I can accept people as they are. And
Yeah.
even if you're fighting with your spouse or your kids not listening, be grateful for that, because you have that moment, like, to either shift
Hmm.
or adjust or take a deep breath and close your door, and but all of it is gratitude. It's absolutely that.
Hmm. Man, beautiful. I'm going to read some of these fun comments from some fun
Okay.
friends. This is our buddy Christine. Hi, Christine. Love the picture. David is just so easy to hang with. I would
Love you,
agree.
Christine.
I would agree. This is our buddy Palmer out of Tennessee, Rick Palmer. David helped DRS shine on a recent project by going above and beyond Vivreau's scope. Thank
Thank
you,
you, Rick.
brother. Gosh, I love it. Janine, love David.
Yeah, love you too, Janine.
So fun. Brittany, I'm grateful to call David an incredible friend and colleague. Brittany, I think you're in good company amongst many, which is really cool. We're going to get to a lot of things in your story. One of the
Yep.
things we talk about here is pride.
Yeah.
One of the ways we encourage folks to cultivate confidence, cultivate energy is through creating proud moments.
Yep.
And they can be, everybody's proud moment is different. For some people, proud moment is just walking down the stairs in the morning, and or it's making a cup of coffee, or it's being able to get out of bed, or there's a whole versus, or it's running a marathon is a proud moment, or it's succeeding in a work project with Rick, or whatever those things are.
Yep.
Can you share with us one of your proudest moments professionally, and then one of your proudest moments personally?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to do two professionally. I'm going to color
Go.
outside the lines. That's the punk rock ethos in me, Jason. I just
Right.
have to.
By the
Um,
way, punk rock ethos. What were you listening to get ready before this?
well, actually, they're not necessarily punk. I was listening to the Go Go's. Like,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just telling you, that's new wave, but you should absolutely listen to them. They waited too long to get them into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I will argue with anybody that disagrees with me. Great band. I
So
feel better
good.
now.
I love it. I love it. Okay, proud moments professionally. Go.
Yeah, professionally, the colleagues I work with, the I've gotten feedback from them that I'm a trusted colleague, somebody they can lean on, somebody they can work with, and that they feel safe at work around me. That's really proud. Again, that I can create that space and get that feedback from my colleagues. Super proud of that because that's legacy and that's interacting with people and that's talking to people. The second piece is 2019, my buddy Rob Gordon, when I was serving as a board member on the foundation for SHFM, he was the current president. He said, "You guys need to really amp up your fundraising." And he was talking to my friend Danielle Mason and myself. And he said, "Guys, you got to get out of the basement and you got to at least get up to the kitchen because we need the foundation to do more for our industry." And from that, it started 2019. We had a little pause during that 19 COVID thing. And we last year launched our first annual foundation gala out of nothing. It was on a notepad that like we should do this and
Wow.
raise more in one night than we had done the previous 15 years leading up to that.
Holy cow.
Little hope in the dream, I tell you. And when you have purpose and you have a North Star, it just falls into place. Everything's going to be okay when you have that. So super proud of that. And that's legacy and that's taking care of people. So those are definitely two professional things I'm proud of.
Those are both beautiful. And what you all have done with the SHFM Foundation is remarkable. I haven't been to one yet. Gosh, I hope I get to one. But it's
You want to go? I have a seat. I'm you want to go?
if I
No.
gotta look, let's look at calendars. But if I can
Okay.
go, I would love to. I would love
November
to join
13th.
you.
Yep.
November 13th. All right, I'm writing it down.
Yep. You got a
Uh,
seat.
11th. You're awesome. Thank you. But I've heard such amazing things about what you all are doing as a foundation.
Yep.
And I was at SHFM, not the foundation gala, but the conference last year in Denver.
Yep.
And I brought my daughter Haley one night, actually, to meet. I think she met Danielle,
Yep.
and she got to meet Stephanie Gilbert. I brought her down to meet different forces, these powerful women in food service, to say, I
Yep.
want you to see what's possible. And we had a fun dinner. Rigney was there. Rigney hung out. Kaya Gross.
Yep.
All these people is wonderful. But
All my
anyway,
people.
it was awesome. But there was this experience where SHFM really does have so many people that have each other's backs. They really,
Yep.
there is a genuine empathy and care for all the different sectors supporting one another. And
Yep.
gosh, I love that you did. I'm going to read a couple more of these. Sandy Edwards. Hi, Sandy. Davin is one of the most, Davin is both amazing human beings ever to have lived. Wow, that's pretty
love you,
fun.
Sandy.
Lisa, Davin's ability to read the presence of emotions and being authentic. It's a unique gift, isn't that, Lisa?
Wow, thank you, Lisa.
I love it. This is another Lisa. This is a Lisa that I've known a long time. Hi, Lisa. Yay, great energy with the two of you. Hi, Lisa. Janine, agree about the Go-Go's. Love it.
Sister, rock and roll.
When David told me about that, pumping himself up, we played it real quick. I started playing it, so I got to finish the song after we're off. I don't know all of that as much. Okay, this is our buddy Taz. Taz with Walmart, who just celebrated 20 freaking years. Taz, you are a force. Great Monday Night Convo as always. Legacy is what we are all working for. Agreed. Absolutely. Here's our buddy Rigney. You create a better world, David. Go Gala, buy tickets today. November 13th. There we go. There we go. And don't forget the BOC and Kiss. Too funny. Too funny. That's Palmer. That's Rick.
Of course, I knew it was Palmer with Kiss there. Yep.
I love it. Okay, do you have a proudest moment personally?
Oh, being a father, without a doubt. Yeah, just being a father and having that opportunity to do that. It's just it's amazing. Yeah, just being a dad, and I would say I have a great. I'm going to there too. I have a. My friend Jackie said she collects friends, and I do that too. I have a great community of people that are genuine and real, starting from my childhood up to professionally too. So, super. I'm proud of that. I have people in my life that care about, and I care about. My God, so great.
Hmm, gosh, I love that. It's reciprocal, right?
Yeah,
There,
yeah,
before David and I come on, we talked about this idea of permission. That when we are willing to be authentic with experience, when we're willing to talk about things that maybe at times aren't as familiar to, even in a professional setting, at my FS Power Play Network, we have a different kind of conversation. That's kind of at the heart of it, and that it allows permission for people who didn't know you could have these kind of conversations to do so. And when you're willing to care for someone in a genuine way that maybe is, I think it's unfamiliar to many people,
yep.
then that gives them permission to care back, but also to pass that forward with or without knowing it. So I love that you do that. Greg is here. Hey, friends, glad to see you. Hey, Greg, good to see you. Carolyn. Oh, here we go. Here's the deets. Monday, November 13th, 5:30. It's in New York, New York. There's registration. Everybody, if you have a chance to get there, I've heard unbelievable things about what the SHFM Foundation is building towards, what they're working to accomplish, purpose driven,
Yep.
David talked about. And, I
100%.
would say the people that go to this event are of a similar spirit, I guess I would say. There's a similar goal and purpose amongst all of them. And if we become the people we surround ourselves with, I think most people want to surround yourselves with people that are in that room, is what I would say. Boom, boom. Uh,
Preach, brother, preach.
I love it. I love it. Who's this? Dad's Rock. This is Taz. Dad's Rock. You're right, Taz. I love it. Our buddy Eric. Hi, Eric. David, thanks for inspiring and sharing your authentic journey. I would agree. Eric, it's good to see you, man. You remain one of my favorite people ever. David, you're one of my beliefs. I don't know where I did not come up with this, but I heard it long ago enough that I don't remember where. And you might be a model for this in some capacity for me, but it's certainly the reason behind the Food Service Power Plant Network. It's this idea that oftentimes our greatest challenges become our greatest places to serve.
Yep.
And that because we know what the challenge of a particular event is, we all know pain. None of us are immune from pain. And if we have pain around a set of experiences or an experience, then oftentimes because we connect so deeply at that level, we want to offer a level of care and empathy for other people going through this. And you're no stranger to challenge. Do you mind? And obviously, we talked ahead of time about all this, but you've had a particularly challenging last few years,
Yeah.
and I don't know. Do you mind just sharing a little bit about some of the challenge that you've worked through to continue to generate that level of perseverance, belief in what you're capable of in your own life?
Yeah, I'd love to. I'd love to. And I have to preface, I'm going to tell you it all because, why not go all in?
Yeah.
Couple things before I share. Um, it's going to start out as the saddest country song, like George Jones, like He Stopped Loving Her Today or Whiskey Lullaby. It's going to start out that way. And I'm also saying not a victim. I'm okay. So I really want when people are hearing this story. So I'm just going to give you a timeline of how life occurred. Um,
Yeah.
So August 3rd, 2018, my sister and her family were not home. House gets hit by lightning. Only house on the cul-de-sac. Complete loss. Lost everything. They're at their cottage. Lost
Wow.
everything. So right
Mm.
there, traumatic experience. Family can't do anything. 10 days later, my brother-in-law, who had been battling mental illness, passed away. It's just 10 days away. Fast forward to October 26th. My father-in-law and that's October of the same year. My father-in-law dies of cancer. Um, April 29th, and this is where the country song comes in. My dog dies. 13 years old, golden retriever, Shanti. She was amazing. I miss her still. Um, and after May 28th, my father had been battling cancer and passed away on my son's birthday while I was there. So anecdotally, I want to tell you this. You know this being a father. When you're a parent, the first time you see your child, it's this like, here, take my heart. I'm going to give this to you. Like it's a visceral reaction for your child. And I had that the same when my son was born. Um, as father, hospice was there. I held his hand. I leaned in. I said, "Dad, it's okay to go home." That was his last breath, and I heard that. Um, and it was the best and worst day ever, because I had the privilege of being there with my father during his last breath on earth. It was absolutely powerful, and I in turn I was able to give that immediate love that he had for me when I was born, was able to return it to him as he went to heaven. So
Wow.
yeah,
David.
yeah.
There's a lot. That's a big year, man. That's a lot in a year.
There's more.
But wait, oh gosh.
So from May, as you can imagine, yeah, I'm drinking. God has the is driving, and I'm like, God, take your foot off the effing gas. I need a break. So around October, I was battling all this with my sister and loved ones and dying, and I'm thinking, and I'm not just thinking about it. I'm making plans to not be around anymore. Like legit. Like I couldn't catch my breath. I couldn't get my grounding. I couldn't I nothing was working, and everybody was dying. Like they didn't know what to do. So in that October, naturally, well, I prayed to God in that moment. I'm like, dude, I don't know what to do. I need help. Like I don't want to live. I just don't. Like it's too much. It's too heavy. I'm scared, etc. So um, the next day, I woke up at 2:30 in the morning, just up, and I was awake. And naturally, I walked down and turned on LinkedIn because everybody does that when they're contemplating suicide. I turn on LinkedIn. Yeah, that happens. Um, by the grace of God, like I flip on LinkedIn, and there's a guy with my same name, first feed. I'm like, David. I thought his name was David. His name's actually Davin. He's wearing a pink jacket, which I'm like, dude's wearing a pink jacket, rocking it out. I got to tip my cap to him there. And come to find out that he was auctioning off a pink jacket for breast cancer. Real men wear pink, $5,000 auctioning it off. So I'm like, bro, it's like 2:45 in the morning. I'm like, my name's Davin Wickstrom. You don't know me. We have the same name. I'm going to be the one and only person that's going to buy that pink jacket. That is mine. We need to talk. And then fast forward right after that, of course, I said, if somebody, puts $5,000, I'm going to do 5,001. I'm going to keep going. And I ended up getting it. Met Dav, and he runs a program called Purpose Summit. Dude's an amazing guy. We got to meet in person, got the jacket, lifelong friend, much like you. He's a light being just like you, Jason. And yes, from that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know what you've got next, but thanks for sharing that. Number one, not easy things to share. I've shared of similar things in my experience, and one of the things we say at the end of these conversations, but maybe we'll throw it out there right now. In fact, we just will. Is to anyone going through a rough go.
Yep.
We all have rough goes. We all have times where I like to see, the light at the end of the tunnel, where we don't see any light at the end of the tunnel. And we all have different levels of what that feels like to us and what hope looks like, or a lack thereof. And we tell everyone, if you're having a rough go, know that you're in good company with many who have or are, and keep going. And know that we have an industry of unbelievable folks willing to support, willing to care, willing to listen, willing to help you get help that you need. in a few weeks, I'll be actually when Davin, unfortunately, I don't get to be at SHFM this year. Davin will be there and the team down, I think in Tucson or Scottsdale. I'll be with a crew of people. Farmer Lee Jones is someone we've interviewed, and Jamie Simpson and Morgan Tucker. We've interviewed all of them on the show. And Farmer Lee and Jamie and the Chef's Garden have a conference called Roots. And I'll be moderating a group on mental health, a conversation around mental health in food service with Nikki, Jennifer, all these wonderful, amazing people. And so just know that you're in good company and you keep moving. And if ever you feel like it's really tough and you don't know where to turn, just know that you've got two people right here. That guy, I don't know if I'm pointing in the right direction, maybe that way. That guy or that wherever direction he is on your screen. And you got me and a whole host of people in the Power Plant Network willing to support you. So we'll leave it at that. But first, I'm glad that you found LinkedIn. I'm glad you found Davin. I'm glad you found a guy with a pink jacket that you knew you needed and needed to support something. Tell us, if you don't mind, about next, because that's a dramatic turn from making plans to maybe not be around anymore to finding a brother in the industry with a purpose that you believed in and where you are today.
So what did I do with that? Actually, I had two more life stuff. I don't want to be, well, I'm just going to share it. So Jason, I think it'll give context to everything. And then at the end, so I'm going to do that. So fast forward to May of 2020, my mother-in-law had passed away. She had been battling leukemia. And again, I'm not wearing this as a badge as a martyr. This is just what happened.
It's life.
I could see the taillights of the car going to see my mother-in-law, and I get a call from my best friend's sister. Best friend had been battling mental health most of his life, and he passed away too. So I had my mother-in-law and my best friend die on the same day.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, a little bit of life coming at you. I will say, had I not connected with Davin, I don't know that I would have the tools. Well, it's always been in me. I've always had the tools, but to understand that I have those tools to get through it. And our high school buddies, and I'm getting kind of to your question, our high school buddies, there's about 8 of us. I've known them my whole life. We did a celebration of life for my friends, all of us. We had no wives in the picture. It was us about giving service, and we were able to heal as brothers about this and share that experience.
Wow.
And we look like, I've known these guys 40 years, and now we have this like joy urgency to be really effing present with each other, to show up, to give a shit, because we know the alternative, but we're not focusing on the alternative. We're focusing on the possibility ahead of us. So it's like the richness now that we have is in our relationship. It's moments, and it's so stinking incredible. And even post that, that's probably one of the best gifts my friend gave my group of buddies is we became even closer. I love those guys. They still razz me too, and I love them.
Those are the best. Those are the best kind of relationships where you care about each other so well, and you mercilessly make fun of each other in various capacities at different points.
That's our love language. You betcha.
That's our love language. Joy, urgency. You know what? I love that phrase, Christine. And I just wrote down what David said. We aren't focusing on the alternatives. We're focusing on the possibilities.
Yeah.
And that is a beautiful way to say that. And, oftentimes we find what we seek, right? And so when you're looking for the possibilities in life and trying to see what is possible as it relates to us as a group of guys, us as a community, us as a food service community, SHFM, Vivreau, Cowmill, all of these, NAF. I was talking to D today, NAF, so many wonderful associations, groups of people, et cetera. Just my neighborhood as my neighbors walk down the street. What's the possibility that we're after? What's possible here? Joy, urgency. I love it. The group you have is so important. Love it. Always need some razzing. Yeah, we have a fantasy football league with all my cousins, and I get made fun of because I can never figure out how to sign up for the league. And for whatever reason, it's just a
You're
part of it.
that guy, Jason.
I'm totally that guy. My cousin called me. He's like, all right, Jay, let's make sure you're in the right community, like the right group this time, the right league. Davin, you
There's
matter.
my guy.
You have a purpose. You have a gift the world needs. Davin's story is a powerful testimony that you are not alone, that God can meet you in your deepest pain. Know that there is a purpose for your life, and your story, God can and will use it all. Davin, I know you're doing wonderful things out there to bring
Yes, he
people
is.
together and point people towards purpose, help them focus on something bigger than themselves. Ellen, Real Moments on a Monday PM with David.
Deep
Thank you.
Thoughts by Davin Wickstrom.
Yeah, tonight is not a light episode, and it's awesome. We don't really have a lot of light episodes, though, to be
No.
honest. The goal here is always authenticity and
Yeah.
conversation, which feels real.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna take a quick left turn.
Yep.
You do a lot. You've got a family. You are all over the place supporting the industry. So supporting via Vivreau and who you are. When you need a recharge, you're giving.
Yep. Yep.
Talk about what it means to fill you. What does a recharging your batteries look like? Are you a golf course person? Are you a movie person? What is your deal?
Oh, a couple things. Yoga, namaste, like hot yoga. I love hot yoga. And I love it for the fact that yoga is so incredibly hard. And each moment is consciousness in the moment. And you fall down, you get back up. You fall down, you get back up. I love that. And I lose all the water weight of all the beer I've had prior to. I love yoga. Love live music. I just saw Bruce Springsteen at Wrigley Field about 2 weeks ago. Fantastic. I would watch a marching band just so I could be around music. I absolutely do that. I love mowing the lawn, Jason. I need a hobby. I really, yeah, it's so great. Maybe it's because nobody's bothering me. I can put on my tunes and wear my cutoff sleeve shirt and scare the neighbors. It's amazing. Um, and lastly, definitely hanging out with friends and family, people in our community, or reaching out to. That's what I do. And sometimes even to all my friends who are on my circuit know this. I'll text them and be like, "Hey, man, just thinking of you, love you." I'll send them music. That actually charges me by doing that, um, in a kind of backwards way too.
That's really cool. I love it. Fills you to give people some other joy that you find as well.
Yep.
Um, Tell me why you mentioned community quite a few times.
Yep.
Why is cultivating community so important to you? Is it a part of the story you just shared? You and your brothers working through that time together?
It is. Yeah. Yeah. There's such value in that. So if I look at it on a professional level, and I'll just use healthcare. So I just recently at AHF, Robert Darren, Lisa Bryant, amazing. I mean, that whole group is amazing. And I thought as I was leaving, like healthcare gets people on their best day
Hmm.
because a new life is coming into the world, or maybe the worst day.
Yeah.
So they're needing to create food or a food service experience for these people in the hospital. And this could be the Christine in designing it.
Yeah.
It could be the manufacturers who are putting the stoves in there. They're part of that whole story. So when people do not go, thank God I get to go to a hospital, unless you're having a baby, then you're like, yeah, I need it. But the alternative, you don't. Nobody's like, yeah, I get to go. Food service is such an integral part of making things better. Like, and I'm just using AHF, that's a community. They're elevating people's experience. All of us, Jason, from small wares to large wares, you name it, front of house, back of house. It's part of that story. That's
Yeah.
community. It's all connected. Everything is connected.
Gosh, I love that you see it that way. All the ways it works together towards that common element, that common purpose, et cetera. And you're right. From Christine at the very beginning, right? Or Rick at the very beginning, as they're all doing design work to by the time the installers, we've got different installers in the power plant network. So, they're putting into the dealers that buy it and help coordinate all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
And all the reps along the way doing demos and educating and there's so many people. Hospitality even in hospitals. I can't see who that is, a LinkedIn user, but thank you for saying that. Here's Facebook, took the dogs for a ride. Cheryl Lynn. Here
That's
we
amazing.
go. Thanks, Cheryl. Love it. I love it. Tell me, you've done different things. Social work, you were in coffee. Here you are now.
Yep.
What is it that you love so much about the food service industry?
Food service is an art form to me. Food service, like when you break bread. I mean, Jesus Christ had his last meal, or the Last Supper. Sorry. Um, uh, Food is experiential. Food is intimate. Like I love that. Food is about experience, and you get that experience each time you come across and work with somebody. So
Mm.
it's amazing, and it's never a dull day. I mean, we all know when there's openings and we need to get equipment to people. Like that's amazing. You're creating something that otherwise was not there before, or you're making something better. I love it because no day is the same. My
Yeah.
gosh, and you have opportunities to be creative. And we have some really kick-ass people in this industry. Some really amazing people too. Um, yeah, real people too.
I would agree. I've had a couple people recently. I've been around. I've been traveling all over the place for the last month and a half. Really fun. Lots of trainings, meeting new reps that I hadn't connected with before, working with some of our new regional sales directors. It's been wonderful. And there have been some newer people I've met along the way who say food service really is a different industry. And in the most beautiful of ways, like
Yeah.
excuse me, it's different here. People are different here. They really do care. They really do want to support one another. There really is a passion. And you talk about breaking bread, and we get to do it around some of the best food in the country or in the world, as host Milano comes up and all these wonderful things.
Yeah.
Here's our buddy Riggs. Feed the stomach and soul in food service. That's a great way to say it. We
Yeah,
feed
man.
the soul and the stomach. Who is this? This is Nick Moat. Yo, Nick.
Nick, what's up, dude?
David, we've not spoken in too long. Need to grab a pint. Great to see you. That sounds really fun.
I love beer. The answer is yes.
You had me at David, I guess would be the answer. Nick, good to see you, brother. Who's this? This is someone's making a comment here. Have to leave to spec some more Vivreau. Great night, great friends. I wonder if that's Palmer. That's Palmer. Go
Love
do
you,
it.
Rick. Thanks, Rick.
That's awesome.
It's for the children.
Too fun. Best book you've read in a while.
I still go back to On the Road. Like that's the one and only for me. Still, it's the art of hope. It's romantic. It's the answer is yes. I read that a month ago, and I'm like, God, I now know why I love that book so much. It's just the art of possibility. It's like, yep, that can happen. That can happen. So On the Road.
Love it. The art of possibility. That's a great. I love that term. 3 things on your bucket list.
Well, first I'd like to be the starting catcher for the Chicago Cubs. That ship maybe has sailed, but nothing is impossible.
Never say
If
never.
Right, if I couldn't do that, I'd love to go see my friend Mbone when she goes back to Kenya. Spend some time in Africa. I'd love to go to Australia. Travel, really. I've done so much of. If I really want to do it, I do it. So it's travel, more experience. Grab my son, go see the world for sure.
Love it, dude. Maybe you could be the catcher. What's the opening pitch? I don't know. Maybe that doesn't qualify, but maybe in front of a crowd, someone's pitching to you.
I would take it, but I don't know. Like once I squat down in the catchers, which I did for 17 years, I think it's the getting up part that may be a little bit hard, but I'll try it.
The getting up part is a little
Oh,
bit hard.
Reds. Oh, you're breaking my heart. Go Cubs.
Oh, here we go.
Right.
Look at this. Ellen. Wait, Cubs? Oh, David. Oh my gosh.
No.
Kenya? Woo!
Yeah, that's Mbone. I'm going to go with Mbone.
Oh, rad. Christine. Travel. Christine's a travel fiend. She must love getting out, getting about. I love that. Okay, lastly, we all define success differently. Success means something different to us all. Tell us what success means to you.
Gosh, Winston Churchill, I said, you get a lifetime of. I'm going to screw up the quote. It's about giving. So success to me is being a good father, being a good friend, being good in the community, and being seen that way and experienced that way. That's success for me. Professionally, it's being a good colleague. It's being kind. It's being generous. All the wins will come if I have that. That's a success. And really to live my truth, my true north, and create success is creating safe place for people to just be, and
Mm.
always be that, and be that anchor point for people that need it. And if people don't, I can joke around and drink beer too, but like to leave that legacy of um, just being a good dude and showing up, and being there. Kind of rambling a little bit. That's success for me. Yeah,
I love it. Being a safe place,
yeah,
showing up, letting people be right where they're at along
yep.
the way. I think that's pretty brilliant. I think that's a great definition of success.
Nice.
It's easy to feel like you've accomplished much and contributed in meaningful ways when people get to say you're one of their safe people, one of the people that made them feel okay being them. And we've got a lot of friends on here tonight who have been saying that about you.
Awesome.
David, I like to end with what we call encouraging words. And this is where I find your friends, people who I hope are your friends. Well, you never know. And I say, I want you to tell me how Davin has contributed to your story professionally, personally. Just share some encouraging words. Oftentimes we don't hear it enough. And so I'm going to read from a few. Our buddy Rigney, Matt Rigney from Panasonic. He was funny. When I announced that you were coming on, I didn't even ask Rigney. Usually I go and I say, hey, would you mind doing this? I think you might be close with David.
Yeah,
Rigney just wrote me. He goes, I'm sending you encouraging words. Like it was so
love you,
great.
Matt. I
It was
love you, Matt.
awesome. David is an amazing and selfless friend. Over the past few years, David and I have become not just industry friends, but real friends.
Yep.
I think many people will say that. His leadership with the SHM Foundation over the last few years has been amazing to watch. When he shakes your hand and he shares a coin, he is really sharing his heart. Thank you, David, for all that you do, and you know why.
I do. Thank you, Matt. I love you.
I'm so glad that you mentioned our friend Danielle Mason. Danielle's been a friend for a long time, and she is another light in our industry. Here's someone who says this. David has mentioned my name in rooms I'm not in. Isn't that an ultimate friend?
It is. It is.
It is. Based on your description, you're extremely successful, and I'm glad to see it. Robert Gordon. Thanks,
Thank you, Rob.
Danielle Mason. What can I say about David? I'll start with the second time we met, since David doesn't remember the first time. Ha!
I didn't. Nope.
We were at an SHFM networking event. At our tables, we were next to one another. I was a little nervous, being it was my first day on the job with a new company. Needless to say, David's levity and jokes made for a great first day, and we've been thick as thieves ever since. He is truly one of the most kind, compassionate, beautiful humans I've had the pleasure to work with in our industry. Not only do I consider him a close industry colleague, but many times he's considered just another one of the girls.
It's true.
His vision is always true north, doing God's work, trying to make a positive impact everywhere he goes. I could go on and on, so I'll end with, if we ever need more Davids in this world, let's protect this one at all costs. I love you, my friend.
Danielle, thank you. Oh my God. Whew.
Need more Davids in this world. Love it. Last is someone who I've met a couple of times. You probably know better. I'm not going to pronounce her last name correctly, so you're going to help me, David. Sharon Ilatambi from the World Bank.
Yeah. Sharon, yeah, our president, SHFM. Yeah.
Sharon is from the World Bank. She is the SHFM current president. I met her initially at SHFM last year in Denver. I think when she was handed the gavel, she kind of took over that role, and then walking the aisles at the trade show part of it. I've known David for almost 10 years. When I first met him, it was at Mohican Suns in Connecticut. at
Yep.
SHFM's celebrating 35th anniversary conference. I mistook him for someone else, and David played along with it. When I realized that he was the wrong person, we both couldn't stop laughing. He has a great sense of humor. David is calm, and he makes everything look so easy. This year, as our foundation chair of SHFM, David has outdone himself in a short period of time. He has helped me achieve my goals as president of SHFM. I am so proud of David and the work that he has done and continues to do for our industry. Continue to stay calm and collective and keep on smiling.
Thank you, Sharon. Wow. 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 Wow.
Sharon, too cool. Rigney, Danielle, Sharon, thank you all
My peeps.
for sharing. Look at this. Ellen is here. We go. We love Danielle too. This is awesome. Here's Bob. David is a person who inspires others to be themselves. He connects like spirits in the cause for greater purpose. Very happy to have him on our team. How cool is that? That is cool, Bob. This is our friend Zena Dater out of Oklahoma. Zena, great message. Thank you so much for sharing. Zena, thanks for joining us. Listen, Power Plant Network, holy smokes. If these conversations do in fact give people permission to try on a new form of dialogue, to try on a new form of connecting with others, a new level of being genuine with your experience, or caring for others that might be going through something, or you're just on a conference, at a conference with, or on a committee with, or you work with, or whatever that is. Gosh, I hope this offers something tonight. I really want to thank you, Davin, for being so genuine and honest with your experience. That takes a lot of courage. And I always know that these conversations, and particularly what you were willing to share tonight, touch the hearts of a lot of people and open the door of possibility. You've used that word quite a bit, possibility, for other people as they're learning to grow in their own journey, both professionally and just as people, just as humans. Sharon, Danielle, Matt, no truer words. Heck yes. Thank you, David and Jason. This is our buddy D. Hi, Deirdre. Inspirational. Gosh, I would agree. Lisa, pleasure to be here seeing Arizona SHFM. I love it. So many things you said tonight resonated with me. You said, gosh, my notes are a little bit scribbled because I wasn't looking down. When you allow people to be where they are, so much opportunity when you allow people to be where they are. The other thing that you mentioned tonight that really struck me was you and your buddy's take after one of your friends passed away. You came together and you said we weren't focusing on the alternatives. We're focusing on the possibilities. And I think it's really easy in the midst of challenge, in the midst of whatever thing sets us back, whatever thing annoys us or doesn't go our way at times. Of course, there's a venting process, right? I need to connect with someone and just be real with what I'm going through. That was my world today. And I just need to share, whatever's going on. And then there's also this hope of connecting on possibility, whether it's what David's doing at SHFM. I look at my friend Dee, who just commented, and what she and her team are doing at NAFM. I think of my friend Allison Cody at MOFSI. We just signed up for MOFSI tonight. If anyone's not a part of that, I hope you're going to MOFSI if you can in January. So many wonderful associations, people doing wonderful things. And the question is, what's possible here? What kind of what ways can we serve? How can we provide solutions? How can we elevate the overall experience? We talked about healthcare earlier and all the different contributing factors, people and organizations in that. So I think there's a lot of possibility. What a great evening, says Eric. Thanks for the authenticity, and David for sharing your personal journey. I would agree. Listen, Power Plant, thanks for joining us. Really wonderful to be with you. Thanks for spending an hour or so, 54 minutes to be with David and I tonight, and listen to us just talk like friends and talk just some real life for a little bit. Hopefully encourage one another, and hopefully in doing so, foster more of that in the future. I can assure you that next time David and I get together for dinner or coffee or whatever it is, that we've opened the door of possibility in our own relationship to keep talking and being real and being genuine in what we're going through because of what was formed just tonight. And here's what I know too, that David's opened that door with many of you. watching. So David, I'm going to maybe put this out there, but I knowing the man who I'm looking at right now,
Yeah.
if ever you run into this guy at a show or on the streets or at it, whatever it is, and you just need someone to talk with, I have a feeling he's going to say, I'm happy to listen.
The
And,
answer is always yes, Jason. The answer is always yes.
you looked on LinkedIn at 2:45 or so in one of your darkest hours,
Yep.
and you found a gentleman you didn't know, Davin, in a big jacket. And so you're going to get to be that for me. You are that for many. And I know the door has been open for others who you haven't met yet to be that as well. So if you're watching and you run into this guy, wherever he is on your screen, that guy, he's pointing, know you can connect with him. If you run into me at a conference, just know that I'm always happy to listen. If you're going through something, try to point you in the right direction, an element of hope, or with people who can be encouraging, whatever that looks like. Certainly the Food Service Power Plant Network is one of those places. If you're not in our community on Facebook, you're welcome to come find us. We do our best to encourage one another, share what's going on, share inspirational things, support one another. That's the whole hope of that community. Listen, a real quick thank you. Again, FENS Magazine. Maureen and team, the new issue comes out, I think, in 3 days, September 1st. The new issue will be coming out electronically, and then I'm going to get it in the mail at my house where I get my hard copy here. And then, of course, Crave. Go check out the website, fspowerplant.com. Check out the beautiful job they did for all of our community to share these conversations, to offer support services, coaching support, mental health support, whatever you're going through and you feel a need for in the moment. They've done a wonderful job, and they can help you. They're a white glove marketing company specifically designed for the food service industry. Go find them, and know that this conversation will be on that website in a couple days, so you can go find it there. You're welcome to share it with friends. Listen, Power Plant community, thanks for being with us. Wishing you all the best. Know that you've got what it takes to work through whatever you're going through, and you're not alone. We're in this together. We're a community that supports each other, both professionally and we're lucky to be able to be an industry that's willing to be real enough to support each other personally as well. Amen. So let's keep going. David, thanks, my friend.
Thank you, Jason. You're the best, dude.
You too, brother. Love you, man. This was awesome.
Namaste.
Namaste. Have a great night, everybody.
You
See you
too,
soon.
brother.
Bye.